Good morning, Arthur. How are you?
Good morning, Anthony. I'm fine, and you?
Yeah, very good. Thank you. Thanks for your time and willingness to contribute. We're going to talk about emotional intelligence as always. And today I'm glad to introduce to the audience Arthur, national team volleyball player and entrepreneur. We met in Cameroon maybe 5, 6 years ago. It's a long time already, man.
Yeah.
And yeah, I would appreciate your contribution as a professional athlete and an entrepreneur. I would love to hear your contribution about the importance of emotional intelligence in the workplace and in the sports context. Introduction first, and Arthur, I'm gonna leave it to you. Introduce yourself to the audience, both as a human being first, as an athlete and a professional.
Right. Thank you very much. So I'm Voukeng. I'm Cameroonian, entrepreneur and professional athlete. First, social entrepreneur because in 2011 we launched Domino Charity International that has worked intensively with street children and orphanages for the past decade in Cameroon for reinsertion and support to education. And later on, we started building some other companies which are much more centered on bringing economic value to the country and to the people. So this is how we founded the ALM Creative Studio and the Logivo, which are on one hand, marketing, communication, and design company, and on the other hand, a supply chain management company and logistics. So as an athlete, I joined the national team 2017 officially, and I have been running since then as elite with a great leadership in the team, and recently appointed team captain. And now we've played so many competitions with the national team and won so many medals. So it's a pleasure to be in part of this interview today.
Arthur, it's my pleasure, and I can witness that. Yeah, I follow you guys, and I saw you very often, yeah, achieving and being successful. So my congratulations on this.
Thank you.
Arthur, I would ask, first of all, as an athlete, because as you know, I do work with some athletes as well, and we talk a lot about mindset, management, and emotional regulation. So I'm very happy that I have you here today because you played for the national team, appointed as yeah, one of the leaders of the team, if not the leader of the team. So you are in charge as well to drive the mood, the behaviors. How important is being emotionally intelligent in sport?
I would say emotional stability and emotional intelligence come first before you have the talent coming in, because it's the foundation of what determines who you're going to be, how you're going to endure, and how you can take the pressure, how you can keep to the discipline, how you can keep away the distraction away from your path, away from your journey, away from your objectives, away from your target. So emotional intelligence for my own has played a role, an essential role in the construction of my career and in the pursuing of my objectives. So I've always been attached to that part of discipline and that part of managing myself out of the court and in of the court. So I think that it has played a really, really important role. And on the part of leadership, emotional intelligence is also that real great asset that you need to have to be called or to be set aside as a leader in a group. So these are the elements that have laid my strength on to build my reputation, my personality, and also to achieve all these great goals that I have achieved as an athlete.
Thank you, Arthur. I wanted to make a specific question, I see many times young guys and they dream to go and play abroad. So they see it as something very beautiful. So now from the other side of the desk, from the other side of the table, I assume, and here I would like to have your opinion, when you move abroad, you face challenges that you didn't expect. So now I know you played in Turkey for a couple of years, and I would like to ask how emotional intelligence helped you to cope with the transfer, being in another country, being in another culture, different food, different habits. Was emotional intelligence crucial in that scenario as well?
Yeah, of course, Nick. I've played in China, I've played in Turkey. These are countries with a total different way of thinking and of doing things, really far from what we can do in Africa or in the other parts of the world, in Europe or in other parts of the world. We've been also to countries like Italy and other countries of Europe. So at every point in the journey, emotional intelligence has played a fundamental role in determining who is the athlete that will go furthest and who is the athlete that will stop, independent of the talent. Because at one point, you have to take decisions. You have to be able to digest information that come your way. You have to be able to interpret. You have to be able to set like a frame, to set a frame and understand each and every part of that frame to be able to set a step forward. So sometimes you can make mistakes, but the players or the people that have emotional intelligence because they have an experience by reading books or an experience by having coaches or an experience by developing curiosity in personal development, I think they go further and they are much more determined, and their determination is long-term determination. They don't get discouraged so easily. So I think it has played a fundamental role in my career. So I really think that emotional intelligence should be something that everyone should embrace as a professional athlete.
I love the point you pointed out emotional intelligence as the science or the knowledge that helps you to develop discipline, consistency, resilience, things that for a professional athlete are crucial. Once I did read emotional intelligence is the difference between a great player and a good player. Great players must be able and capable to administrate their own state, inner state. So I love it.
Yeah.
Thanks, Arthur, for gifting your experience and sharing it with us today. I will take advantage as well. You are an athlete and you are an entrepreneur as well. Still in the context of emotional intelligence. Now we focus on the workplace. You are a company owner, you work with other people. How important is to listen to each other's emotions in the workplace, watching the outcomes of your work?
It's so challenging. It's so challenging. It's really different from the athletic, the professional world as a sportsman, as a professional athlete, because everyone comes to a professional team with a frame. Because first there is that big selection process. Only the toughest, only the best can get to these professional leagues. So they come with a frame of mind. In the professional world, you have all sorts of people, be it your collaborators, be it your employee, be it your partners and so on, your clients. So, I mean, you have to be more of a digesting machine and more of a coaching machine. because you have to use your own emotional intelligence to develop their emotional intelligence and to develop their mentality and to develop their strength. So at this point, as a leader, you have to be the teacher first. You have to be the person that teaches by example. So you have to set example, you have to set the discipline, and it's all about how you do it. The non-verbal communication and the consistency. But you build your consistency thanks to your emotional intelligence. You build your consistency thanks to your own discipline and personal degree of personal development. So I think the my biggest challenge is every day, because the one day you're not there to make sure that the company culture is going on, that same day everything's changed. So because everyone is so reluctant to change, you need time to bring people to frame. And most of the time in the company, which is really based on economic KPI, there is no much time for that. So as a leader, you have to be there all the time to make sure that everything is moving on trail and to make sure that people are in the correct mindset. So it's also very important in the work environment to make sure that most of the people are in the right frame, and most of the people have a comprehension of what emotional intelligence is, like to manage your affairs, to manage the company and the responsibilities, and to be productive.
I really like the quote, using your emotional intelligence to support and develop others' emotional intelligence.
Yeah.
Is a very nice frame. And I would ask, how do you implement in your company, in your group, emotional intelligence awareness and practices? Like, how do you build and maintain that psycho-emotional safe environment? Do you have any practices? Yeah, go on, sorry.
Three things. The first thing is a lot of one-on-one. Is establish a culture of one-on-one mentoring, one-on-one follow-up, one-on-one discussion, one-on-one feedback, creation of feedback loop. And the second thing is team building, and it's very important. And the third thing is, as much as we can participate to events together and to understand the way other people think and build their companies, to understand the way other people bring innovation to their companies. And this is how we get to learn also, and we get to take what's good from the outside and bring it to our own company, and try to implement the good practices in the industry, be it in the marketing industry or in the supply chain management and logistic industry. So we are very keen about that. We are very keen about innovation, but we're also very keen about humans and the way they act and interact on a daily basis. So I would say these are the three main ways in which we try to implement or to support or to encourage emotional intelligence in our organization.
Thank you, Arthur. I will make treasure, and I'm sure many people will, because we talk a lot about the science, emotional intelligence, but how we can implement it, what practices we can integrate in our routine in order to develop emotional intelligence. And I mean, you provided a great example.
Yeah.
So if you, to the watchers, to the audience, if you want to get in touch with Arthur, is on LinkedIn as Arthur Voukeng, and as an entrepreneur as ALM Alpha Lima Mike ALM Consultancies. I ask Arthur, is it correct?
Yeah, it's the ALM Creative Studio and Logivo Global.
Okay, ALM Creative Studio. Please feel free to get in touch with Arthur. And before to say goodbye, I ask you two more things, just two more, Arthur. So the
Yeah.
first one, as an entrepreneur, what would you say to those companies, business owners, leaders that are not really engaging and embracing emotional intelligence training? What would you say to them?
I think it's one of the assets in building a company. And I think that they should be more open. I think if they want to build themselves and build a strong team and strike the impact that they want to build, I think they should add this as an asset to their organization. And it's a cumulative effect investment. So it's not on the first day, but I think in the mid and long range, the impact is so unbelievable. So I really recommend, really.
Thank you, Arthur. The second question is very similar to the previous one, but what would you say to athletes and coaches to
As an
encourage?
as an athlete and as a coach, you train the mind first before training the body. So it's step zero. It's step zero to build the mindset, to build the winner inside before you can build the winner outside. So emotional intelligence is one of those things that is needed, that are needed. You have to build your emotional intelligence. You have to build your mindset. You have to build the mentality before you can add any other thing to it. So I encourage athletes and coaches to go a little closer to emotional intelligence, try to understand it and develop according to their own philosophy a pathway of implementation. And also they have to get support from professionals like you, Nick, so that it's easier in the implementation.
Arthur, I truly thank you for your insights. They are coming from a standpoint of a national team player. So I'm quite confident and positive that many athletes and many entrepreneurs as well gonna hear your voice.
Thank you.
I leave the floor to you for one last contribution. If you wanna, I don't know, say hi to the audience, say goodbye, or give a final quote, final line that you like. This is the moment.
Yeah, I just want to say we should all be positive. Don't give up on your dreams. The first time is the hardest time, but the first time is not also going to be the longest time. So what you acquire, you can lose, but you never start from zero. You can start from the beginning, but you will never start from zero. So take every step seriously and build from every step and just trust yourself, trust the people around you because you'll never get to your dream alone. You need others to be with you. So I really want everyone to get this in mind and meditate on it. Thank you.
Love it. Very, very human oriented and Arthur. Once again, thanks for your time and contribution. It's always a pleasure chatting with you.
Thank you.
Thank you once again and see you soon. Goodbye, Arthur.
Thank you.